to the cloud. And it's so funny, you guys, I titled this for making 10,000 a year to making 10,000 a month, because that's literally what she said. Katie reached out to me. We weren't even planning a training, but every time she messages me, I'm like, let's collab, let's do a training together. And she asked me about taxes. She's like, I used to make 10,000 a year and now I make 10,000 a month and I need help with taxes. I'm like, this is what we're going to title the training. So my team doesn't know a whole lot about you. I'll introduce myself to your team, but can you go ahead? Let me make sure everyone's muted. Hold on. You're going to have to unmute yourself really quick. Okay, sorry, someone wasn't muted. Give us a little background on, tonight, you guys, we're going to talk a lot. This isn't going to be like how to get people in your inbox. Like, you all have that on our team pages. We're going to talk about perseverance and growth, because that is something that me and Katie have mastered and why we are where we're at. So if you could give us a little glimpse into your journey and how you ranked to 200K super fast, and then don't go too much into like our second question, but a little bit about your journey and, all that.
Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Katie, obviously. Just a little bit of a backstory as well is according to society, like according to like society standards, I was not supposed to be successful like ever in my life, ever. I was a teen mom. I had dropped out of high school. I married my high school sweetheart. We got WIC, food stamps, government assistance. I've stared at shutoff notices. I worked 6 days a week for $10 an hour. And I came from a small town where that was just it, man. Like that was, and nobody ever left. Like they were there. And I was just kind of like, according to society standards, like that was just me. I was that teen mom on government assistance, and I thought that I'd always be there. So just know that no matter where you come from, no matter what your income is, how many kids you have, I always like to say it ran in my family until it ran into me, right? Like it runs in your family until it runs into you. You're the one that's going to stop that. And for me, I was the one that was like, it ran in my family, but until it ran into me. And I decided that I was going to change the course of my family's life. So when I joined Lavelle, this was not my first network marketing company. I had done something else before, fell flat on my face, just wasn't right for me. So when I joined Lavelle, it was either make this work or go back to work, because I had quit my job prematurely in my last business. I saw one big paycheck and I was like, I'm rich, like I'm doing it, I'm quitting my job. So I quit my job, and then my income was like, and I regret it so bad, right? But I had a new little baby, and the thought of going back to work was just like devastating to me. So I transitioned to Lavelle, and how I went to 200K quickly is, number one is I decided from day one, like I was committing to the process. I didn't care how long it took. I didn't care who said no to me. I didn't care what anybody had to say. I kind of knew, like going into it, that people were gonna talk, right? Like not everybody's gonna understand network marketing. I was changing companies. People always have something to say. Like no matter what you're doing, someone's gonna talk about it, right? So I went into it with A, it's gonna work, and B, I know not everybody's gonna be happy about it, but C, my family depended on it, and I don't care what anybody else has to say, because as much as I support other people, if they don't support me, like they're not coming to knock on my door the first of every month handing me a check for my mortgage, so I didn't take any of their opinions or what they said to heart. And I just showed up daily, you guys. I was excited. I didn't care, before, in my last business, it was like post 3 times a day, and then 3 times about your product, and 3 times. And I was just authentic. Like if I woke up in the morning and I felt bombed from my 3 steps, I posted that I was feeling great for my 3 steps. If I got a paycheck and I was paying off debt, like I shared, hey, I'm paying off debt, or I paid the electric bill, or I did this. Like I just shared it. The stories weren't big when I started, so there wasn't really much of that going on, but I shared how I was feeling, and I did it unapologetically, and I didn't worry about, crafting the perfect post or making it say like, all these X, Y, and Z to like attract all these people. I was just literally typing it up. I was like, I feel amazing. Like you're crazy not to try this. Feeling bombed for my 3 steps. And I was slinging minis faster than Lavelle could get them on my doorstep. Like I started on the 400 pack, and then I actually had to order another 400 pack before my first one came, because my first one was already sold. I will say it every training, every Zoom till I'm blue in the face. I sampled my way to 200K. I did. I was getting them out there quicker than Lavelle could get them back. And I love so much how our customers actually truly love the product. Like, I don't have to send out a mini and like wonder if they're going to love it. I know they're going to love it, and I'm confident that they're going to love it. And sharing those reviews is what really had people in my inbox, because, you know, sharing that you feel good all the time, it definitely, it grabs people's attention. But from an outsider looking in, they're like, of course you love it because you sell it, right? So when you're sharing, like, this is a customer, like, this is somebody who's not making a penny if you order, and they're loving their products. So sharing customer testimonials as well is something that had a lot of people in my inbox wanting to try samples. And I literally sampled my way all the way to 200K.
Okay. So funny, because that's literally what I had. I was never focused on like pretty pictures and Pinterest quotes. And I think that's what people think like attraction marketing is. And I'm like, no, babe, attraction marketing is you just mastering your gift and using it to your full potential. So I built to VIP 800. You went VIP 800 in like hours, right?
Yeah, like my first day.
Yeah. So I went VIP 800 the same way I went 40K and 80K and 200K. It was from the products. I was never focused on like, gotta get volume here, gotta get volume here. I was stacking these products in so many people's hands. Like, if a lot of times when I first got started, I was working at a boutique. I had to be at work at 9:45. If I had someone interested in my business, we were at Starbucks at 8:30, 30 minutes away from my work. Like, I was so broke that like $25 in my pocket, I was going to the ATM every day to put freaking $25 in my bank account because I had bills coming out and I didn't have enough money. So it was about the product. And I think we shy away from that so much because we think, oh my God, we have to build a business. And, you know, so-and-so got here from, you know, her attraction marketing and posting pictures. It's like, girlfriend, the more that you can get the 3-day experience in someone's hand, that's who wins. It's not who has the best presets, who, you know, has the best story, who's from rags to riches. It is who can get a 3-day mini in as many people's hands. So
and let me tell you too quickly, I don't want to cut you off, but the people who see the most growth on my downline are the people who see the most growth on our team, I'm telling you, are the ones who are slinging minis. They're the ones who are getting out those 3 days, those 6 days. You know, some people do 4 and 8. The ones who are seeing the growth and the ones who are growing their business are the ones who are slinging those minis. So those are key.
Yes. So and it's funny because that's still my number one tip today. You know, 2.5 years in, I get a 3-day mini in someone's hands. It takes the pressure off of knowing all the ingredients, what it's going to do. I'm like, girl, $25, you're going to get 3 packs of this, 3 packs of this. I tell them, you are going to get 9 full-size products for $25. Let's see how you like it, and we'll go from there. That is my key line that built me a 6-figure business. Let's see how you like it and go from there. So let's talk about how we kind of blew up really fast. And, you know, an income means nothing if your mindset is not equipped for it. Let me say that again. The income will mean nothing if your mindset is not equipped for it. So, you know, coming into this business, you know, I went from making $30,000 a year to $150,000 a year in 1 year. And that can kind of get to your head, you know, and when we say, well, you got to get ready for that income, I'm not talking about being able to handle it with your taxes and, you know, savings account. I'm talking about valuing the mentorship that comes along with it, valuing all of the women who are going to need your guidance and your help. And what I want to say before I switch it off to you, I wrote this down. I said, don't value an income, value the woman you will become. Value the value she'll bring from her hardships, the wisdom she'll have from her mistakes. That's a big one. The strength she'll develop from not quitting. Like, can we get an amen to that? So many people, they're going up this mountain and then like the first time they just get smacked with something, they're out. And I'm like, girl, you have $10,000 monthly incomes waiting on you, but you got to keep climbing. The leader you're going to become along the way because you fought yourself to get there. No story is great because you pop to a rank really fast and you have all this money. It's about the woman you become and the leadership skills you develop and all those, I always say entrepreneur muscles, because what we do is not easy. You know, especially with waking up and sharing your business on Insta story, I'm not afraid to like be myself and share who I am. If you follow me, my pictures are not perfect. A lot of times it's just me saying what's on my heart and what's on my mind. And that's where the connection is made. That's where my mini sell, because people know that I'm not just here to get a quick buck. Like, they see me every day in your social media. So if you're not utilizing that to your full advantage, like, girl, wake up. So why don't you dive into kind of how you promote it, and, I forget the question I had.
So number 2 was like the growth, like the perseverance.
Growth.
So, like you had said too, is the money doesn't make anything. Like, it doesn't make you successful. I don't think that a dollar amount in your bank account equals success. I've heard you say this before, and it's so true, is that millionaires kill themselves all the time. And I don't want to like get too sad on here, but like, you hear about like people who are famous and who have these big fat bank accounts, and who are celebrities and like highly influenced, whatever, who are committing suicide because money it's not everything. Like, it's not everything. And I remember when I went 200K, I had from the minute I signed up in network marketing, I was like, I'm going to hit the top. Like, I'm going to do it. So when I hit 200K 5 years later, because it was a 5-year climb to 200K, even though I've been with Lavelle for 2 years, I always said that it was a 5-year journey, because I started network marketing over 5 years ago. When I hit 200K, I remember I went to bed that night, and I was expecting to like wake up the next morning a different person. I was expecting to wake up like, I got my shit together now. I got those 200K checks. Like, I've arrived. Like, that was me. I was like, I'm going to wake up in a whole new body. I'm going to be a different person completely. And I woke up, and life just kept going. Like, I still had my kids. I still had, the things that you have to face on a daily basis, the obstacles, the anxiety. I struggle a lot with anxiety and depression, and I share that on my page as well. Those things didn't disappear. Money didn't make those things just go away. I had to grow through that. And, when I hit 200K, I'll be honest with you, originally I was in a very selfish mindset. I was like, I did it. I hit 200K. Like, I'm here. I'm arrived. And for a few months, I was like, I did this, and this is my team, and it's my success. And God humbled me real quick. And we'll touch on that, I guess, but God humbled me real quick, you guys. Last year I had 9 12Ks walk away last year, 9 of them. And God was like, you ain't ready for this. Like, you're not ready for that success. I'm going to humble you. I'm going to bring you back down, and we're going to work our way back up, and I'm not going to give it to you until you're ready for it. And, I had people walk away, and I had lost that 200K rank. You guys, the summer of last year, I was paid as a 40K. And that's so hard to say, because, I think that people have like that fake it till you make it mentality. And they're like, I want to keep up with the Joneses, and I want to act like my life is together on social media. And I want to pretend that I have this big income, and that I'm doing this, that, and the other. And I want to show these flashy things that people join me. And I was paid as a 40K for August and September of last year. And I think we ended at like 75 or 76. And it was at that point when I was like, this is not a me thing anymore. This is a we thing. How can we rebuild together? How can we come back stronger than ever? How can we form a structure and a team that's more of a family, more of like that family culture versus like just doing this because it's a task? Like, how can we do this together because we love each other and we want to do it, and we want to do it for each other, and with each other? So I had to understand, and I had to accept that I could only control my own efforts, right? So people walked away, and I've lost them. That's fine. One actually came back, and I'm super excited for her. She just came back a few days ago. And I had to just kind of understand that I'm responsible for my own actions, and I'm responsible for my own efforts, and people are going to come and people are going to go. And I had to get through that, and it was really, really hard, but I had to come to the conclusion that it was not about me. And I just had to show up and lead from the front to help pave the way for other people. So once I did that, once I took my head out of the me mentality and what's my next Tuesday going to look like? Because let me tell you, if you're working for next Tuesday, you're working for all the wrong reasons, baby. Like, it is not about next Tuesday. It is not about the Tuesday after that. It's about, 365 Tuesdays from now, when you have 10, 12Ks coming to you crying that they got their auto bonus, and they're paying their mortgage, and they're helping their husband with the bills. That's what it's about. Okay. So I just kind of had to humble myself, and I had to get back in the trenches with my team and turn it more into a we instead of a me. And ever since then, we've been able to climb back. We got our 80K back, and I'm gonna be honest, now we usually end our month at about, and I told Katie, between like 130 and 165. So we haven't quite got 200K back yet, but you know what? I'm okay with that because it was a massive year of growth for me. It was a year of, learning that people come and go, and really humbling myself and working with other people. And, we might not have gotten our 200K back yet, and we will. But I've helped dozens of women earn their 4K, and, some of them earned a $2,000 bonus. We had more 12K earners, popping left and right. And that's what makes me happy. Seeing these women in my inbox on Tuesday going, oh my God, I made more than, in 1 week than I did in my full month teaching. Like that's what sets my heart on fire. And looking back, from who I was in the beginning of 2019 to who I am in the beginning of 2020, like I don't even recognize that girl anymore. And that's what you want, isn't it? Like that's what you want. It's not about the money, but it's about looking back and going, who was that? Like I don't even recognize that girl anymore. And that's how much growth that we've had to have over the last year. But your growth is your success. It's not the money. I'm successful, and I'll tell you that I'm successful, and it's not because of the money in my bank account. It's because of the growth that I've had. So whether my check says 5,000 or whether my check says 500 or whether my check says 50, the growth that I've had over the last year inside of me, that's success to me.
It's so crazy how similar our stories are, and thank you for being so vulnerable, because I think you guys have to understand in network marketing, sometimes losing your rank, it happens to the strongest people. It doesn't just happen to people who, promote fast. Like it happens to people like us. Like I lost my rank and I've been paid as an 80K for a year and a half. And y'all go to Katie's page. Like she's a really good paid 80K. And that means that she's helping a lot of her personally enrolled. And I had to learn at that time, just like you, I had 13 personally enrolled 12Ks. And then overnight, it was like, it dropped down to like 3 or 4. And instead of taking, my feelings to social and having this pity party and just saying like, this isn't for me, I was like, this is going to be a year, not of growth, but of healing. And that's what I did. And I had to realize I do not want my girls to look up to me for my numbers, my volume, my rank. Like I want to have an impact on their hearts. I want them, like I had to distance myself from income and focus myself on impact. And one of my favorite Bible verses that has carried me through years and years of this industry, it was on old dream boards, my current dream board, and I want to read it to you. It's Romans 8:18. It says, the sufferings of this present time and this present life are not worth being compared with the glory that is about to be revealed to us and in us. And, the Bible talks about how suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, you guys. And character is what builds you a long lasting, sustainable business. People join you because of your character. They stay with you because of your character, not your hype, not your instant success, not your fast promotions, not your likes, not your outward social appearance. It is your character. And I see it all the time on social media where it's like a business is built strictly off of like false promises and hype and a big house and a purse. And it's like, girl, like that looks good right now, but in 5 to 7 years, I want my same tribe with me. I want my team vision casted. I tell them out all the time, like, just like you said, we're not going to focus on Tuesday. We're going to focus on the vision. And, when I say I started healing, like, how did I do that? I started getting back to the basics of what grew me in this industry. I stopped spending so much time on social, and I started getting out my books again. I started making sure that every morning I got a podcast on, and I started being involved in my church and just being around other women who were going to lift me up. Okay. And when you start to heal, you know what you start operating out of? Love and patience. Because when you're building a business off of like, I got to maintain, I got to bring in people, I got to do this, you start operating out of fear, and it brings this overwhelming anxiety that makes this business not enjoyable. This business should be fun. You shouldn't have a time frame on your success. Gary Vee always says, like, if you're doing it for other people, you got a time frame. But if you're doing this for yourself, there is no time frame on your success. you guys. And I just think that the purest form of entrepreneurship is perseverance. When you master that, that's going to master anyone else's work ethic, anyone else's enrollments, anyone else's like anything. Like your perseverance to your dream will bring you from like, it's just, that's what it's about. Can you agree on that? Do you feel like you've had to persevere through a lot in this industry to get where you're at?
I think too, like you have to be tested, like your faith and your determination and, you know, your character. You're going to be presented with situations where, you know, could you stoop? Yes, but you're not going to. And those are the tests that you're going to come, you know, to where, you know, it's going to make or break that next level for you. And you're going to have obstacles and you're going to have things in your way, but those things are not meant to destroy you. Those are going to be things where when you do hit the top, or you do hit 200K, or you do walk that stage as a millionaire, which you guys have, and on here, the newest millionaire. I'm so excited. I cried, actual tears. I'm so excited for her. You know, when you walk that stage, it's not going to be about the big millionaire sign. It's going to be about all the things you overcame along the journey, you know, and your success is not that millionaire sign. Your success is that year that you lost your rank. Your success is that month that you had no enrollments. Your success is that 6-month time frame where a 4K, a 12K walked away, or a customer stopped ordering. That's going to be where your success is made, because you're going to go, I overcame that. I persevered through that. I didn't let it stop me. I put my head down. I healed. I grew, and I put my hand back, and I brought more people with me. And that perseverance, that's what's going to count when you're walking across that stage as a Lavelle millionaire. That's what's going to count when your back office says, congratulations, you've now reached the highest rank in the Lavelle, you know, reward plan. That's what's going to count. It's not the rank title. It's not the big sign that you get. It's what you went through to get there. That's what that represents.
Yes. And I've talked about this before, but the word vision is so important, because vision, I wrote this down from a book I was reading earlier. Just a sentence, don't freak out. It says, vision is always accompanied by strong emotion, and the clearer the vision, the stronger the emotion. And it's not just about having a goal and saying, okay, well, I'm going to go 12K by the end of May. It's like when you log on, like 12K can be your goal, but when you physically log on your back office and you see your first check on that Tuesday and it says current paid rank 12K, and you see your first auto bonus or whatever you see, like, what is that physically going to do for you? Because I go back to the girl who was making $300 a month, and I remember having that vision of, it was never about building. I mean, yeah, I had things like, I want to build our dream house, but it was like, what would it be like to log on my back office and see that I'm that paid rank? Like when I physically see that money in my bank account, physically see that, like when you get that email from Payoneer Pay Portal and it says Lavelle has uploaded this, like imagine earning, you know, $800 in 1 week, $1,000 in 1 week, $5,000 in 1 week. You guys, me and her have both done that. Why are you holding yourself back from creating that? You can't just be attached to that income. I want you to think about what that income is going to do for you. So, you know, have that vision, but there needs to be emotion to it. So my very first goal on my vision board is I want my daughter in a certain school, and the emotion that, you know, triggers me towards that is I see us taking a picture on her very first day in front of that school. Like I envision that. And, you know, I envision all these things. And I want you to ask yourself, do you have a dream board? Like, I know that's so basic, but like, if you are not waking up every day and you don't know what you're working towards, like your heart's got to attach with something. And I'm going to be very vulnerable with you right now. I look at this every single day. And it says how much money I want to have in a savings account, how many personally enrolled auto club members I want to have. And then it has things like Great Wolf Lodge. I want to write a book. And it also is filled with Bible verses. Like you got to make that mind and that heart connection every single morning. You can't just wake up, fart around, post on the gram, get on your phone. Like you have to get this right, prepared, because this is what's going to take you from being stuck to just operating out of just abundance and having a bad ass team who loves you and looks up to you. And they're not going to look up to you because your social media is pretty. They're going to look up to you because all of the leadership skills that you have mastered. And the only way to do that is to grow through stuff and to have hard stuff happen to you so you can hold your team's hand and guide them through that journey.
I love that you said that too, because I feel like so many people are like, okay, well, what's my why? My why is to make $5,000 a month. And it's like, honey, that's not a why. You know what I mean? Like your why is to get your daughter in that school. I wanted to move my family into a nicer area and a better house. You guys, the house that we lived in when I started Lavelle, the kitchen ceiling was leaking. The roof had to be redone. The siding was falling off the side of the house. Like the walls were cracking. I could show you pictures. The doors, the inside of the doors were broken. And I had that vision of putting my family in a safe and sturdy and a nice house where they could all have their own bedrooms, because my two boys were sharing a bedroom. My kids, my two boys, they're 7 years apart. Like they could share a bedroom now in their younger years, but like when they're 7 years apart and they're older, that's not gonna fly with them. So I was like, I want to get them in their own bedroom. And you know, I had just found out I was pregnant again a month after I joined Lavelle. My youngest was 6 months old. I found out I was pregnant again, bless my heart. And I was like, nah, I need another bedroom. And that was my vision. That was my why, is to get my family out of a town. You know, the town that I lived in actually was just named the #1 overdose town in our whole state. That's how bad it was. There was the month before I had moved out of that house, there was 2 people, 2 homicides, like 2 streets over. And it's like, my vision was to get out of there. My vision was to put my kids in a safer school district. And that's what my vision was. It wasn't, oh, I want to have this much money every single week, and I want a Louis Vuitton bag, and I want, you know, and those are nice things, but like, there's no greater feeling than laying my head on my pillow at night knowing that my kids are safe, that my kids have a school district where they get that attention that they need, and they don't have like metal detectors outside the schools. Like that is what fueled me. So like, what is it for you? And is it putting your daughter in a certain school, a private school, or buying a home, or paying off your debt, or, you know, whatever it is? You need to have that attached to, you know, your vision, and that needs to be what you're working for. You're not working for your next Tuesday. You're working for 5 years from now, I'm gonna have my daughter in this school, you know, because I know Summer, she's not close to school age yet. So you have like, that's few years coming to work on it and to bring that vision to pass. And I knew that buying a house wasn't gonna be an overnight thing. I had to fix my credit and pay off my debt. And I knew that there was steps that I had to take, and I knocked them out one at a time. And that's what I focused on. And, you know, I really wanted to make my income. And I know that Em has talked about this before too, is making your income impactful. So, you know, even when I was just starting in my business and my paychecks weren't, you know, amazing or whatever you would say, is like, I stacked those paychecks in my account. And then when I transferred them, it was more like transferring one big account, like one big pay. So I could put it towards that credit card, or so I could put it towards this, so I could pay a bill with it, versus just, oh, I got, you know, $100 this week, I'm gonna go blow it at Target, and then I'm gonna go through Starbucks and go get a pair of shoes. Like, I let that stack up, and then I would pay a utility bill, or those were the things that fueled me, is really feeling like I was making a difference in our finances, versus, oh, I just wasted my whole paycheck on a pair of shoes and, you know, Chick-fil-A that serves me no purpose. So use your income and use your vision. You know, you want that vision to be like more than your income. I'm just rambling at this point, but I feel so strongly about it.
It's so good too, because I go back and I see myself in 2014, 2015, you guys, we sucked for a long time. Every single leader you look up to at least sucked for 6 months before they got good at this industry and what they were doing. And I go back to those years, and I was on multiple trainings just like this in my little house where I couldn't afford, I mean, I couldn't even buy like a kitchen table in a house until a year ago, you guys. So for years and years and years, I was talking about things like, I want to have a fenced-in backyard. That was my biggest dream. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go and have all these huge things you want to accomplish immediately. And I just humbled myself. It was like the first nice day we had in Indiana, and I had tears in my eyes in my backyard, because it's a fenced-in yard. And I was just thinking, I was like, this is what I've prayed for years. And I just think about all those women who locked arms with me and said, Katie, I want to do this. I want to take my kids to Disneyland. I want to stop seeing my husband stress out. And I think about them not being here. And I'm like, the only difference between me and them is I persevered through the hard stuff. I persevered when I didn't have good retention with my customers. I persevered when people left in the masses. I persevered when I started to question myself that you guys, I almost left this business in September. No one knows that. I've never opened up. I was in such a bad mental space that I literally almost left. And then I just had to have a talk with someone, and they spoke life to me, and they said, you're Katie fucking Pineda. Wake up and get back to changing lives. And you are going to go through hard times, but I promise you, it is so incredibly worth it. Like that moment where I sat in my backyard and I saw a fence, and I said, this is what I used to talk to my girls about on Zoom. So if you could really quick just touch on, like, and I didn't ask you this, so it's kind of spur of the moment on your heart, but what have been those moments that have brought you the most like impact on your heart throughout this industry?
There's a lot of different things, and I guess I could go like both ways. The things that have like impacted me the most is, okay, so like when people leave, obviously that's like I'm just like, okay.
We need to talk about that more though, because people don't talk about that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that people don't talk about that. Is it's, you know, the easy thing to do is to get up and leave sometimes. And, you know, there's never been a time in my business where I was like, I've never reached that moment where I was like, I'm outie. Like I've never been in that bad of a mental space, because even in my worst months in this business, my worst months in this business are 10 times better than the best month I ever had in my last business. So for me, I've never had to deal with that. But like the most impactful things for me is, well, one thing too is I actually looked at my back office the other day, and we had a girl who ended up quitting because she had some things going on in her life, and she walked away, and I was checking her volume. It was like the end of the month, like 2 or 3 months ago, and she had like 17,000 in volume, and I was like, honey, you would be at 12K right now. Like you would be collecting that auto bonus. And just to see people not give up, I think is like the best thing to me, because I have seen people lose it all and get it all back. You know, we have a girl on my team, her name's Brittany, and she has been through the ringer, man. She lost 2 babies in 1 year, and her team crumbled, and she had people walk away, and just to see her come back, and to see her on fire, and to see her pick herself, because I had to have that same talk with her. I was like, you're Brittany mother effing Haynes, like what are you doing? Like you came into this business and took it by storm. Don't think that you're not capable of doing that again, you know? So those things, and just really loving on people, and just like putting your hand back and like lifting them up, and like you had said, it's not about the flashy things, but it's about like making an impact on other people. And the best thing for me is when people do come to me and they're like, you know, I paid off debt, or I paid off my credit card, or I did this and I paid for it in cash, or I booked this flight and I paid for it in cash, or we're going to Disney, or, you know, those things have such a big impact on me, because it lets me know that I'm making an impact on them. Like the biggest impact on me is knowing that I'm making an impact on them. And like, that's the big thing for me. That's what lets me lay my head down at my end, go, okay, like you're good. Like you're doing good.
So good. Well, you guys, that's all we had. We just wanted to preach to you about perseverance and growth, and understand that our failures and everything we went through, we were able to just overcome it and rise and rise and rise. And I hope that you choose to do the same. And I just pray before we hop off here that each and every one of you go to bed tonight and you have an aha moment with yourself, and you wake up tomorrow and you just realize that you're so capable of doing this. You're so capable of creating your dream life, and to stop all those thoughts that you put in your head, you're 10 times more capable to destroy them. And I hope and pray you choose to destroy all of those thoughts that are holding you back from all of those things you want to do. So
I do want to say one thing real quick too, and I did this training for my team as well, and I thought it was like really impactful, and I thought maybe some of your girls might take something away from it, but I heard this and it was so true. And what it was is that we're in a 90-day business. So you're going to have 90 days of growth, and then 90 days of planting, and then 90 days of growth, and then 90 days of planting. So if you're in that 90-day period right now where you're like, I'm being consistent, I'm showing up, I'm sharing who I am, I'm being authentic, I'm posting in my stories, and you just don't seem to have that feedback, but then you look left or you look right, and this person over here is enrolling and that person's enrolling, don't think that something's wrong with you, because 60 days from now, they might slow down and your inbox is going to be popping. Okay. You have 90 days of growth, and then 90 days of planting, and then 90 days of growth. And let me tell you, those seeds, they always grow. Are you going to be there when they're ready? Because I've had people come to me and they're like, hey, you know, my sister's best friend's like cousin used to sell Thrive, and I got a mini from her and I loved it, but she doesn't do it anymore. So can I order through you? I cannot tell you how many people have came to me and they're like, I want to order, but like X, Y, and Z is not doing it no more. Don't be that person. Don't be that person that 6 months from now you're watching one of the girls who reached out to you 6 months ago. She's going 12K with somebody else because you quit on yourself. what a gut punch that would be, right? To scroll and see, oh, she went 12K, but I quit. So she's with somebody else, and she's growing, and she's flourishing with somebody else. Don't be that person. So if things right now, I don't think that things are ever like, I don't really like saying slow season. I don't like saying that you're stuck. But if you're having a time where you're being consistent and you're showing up daily, know that effort will compound. And when your 90-day planting season is over and you have that 90 days of growth, it's going to blow your mind. But you want to be there for it, because 90 days from now, those seeds are growing. But who are they going to grow with? Are you going to be there when they're time to grow? They're going to grow no matter what. So make sure you just stay consistent and stay the course and stay committed to the process.
Yes. Mic drop. Okay. Thank you guys. Love you. Since it's already been 40 minutes, I'll go ahead and upload the recording and I'll send it to you. So have a good Sunday, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.